And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OSC as we returned with we have returned with the second half of the broadcast. We just wrapped up with the first 3 series here, and we have been due to a couple of players. Of course, we saw Iba getting knocked out, Sabesses getting knocked out, and of course Pappy also being knocked out of the tournament. As we're in the lower half of the bracket, we're in the lower bracket, I should say. The elimination brackets, and as a result we have 2 series left, also elimination matches, and we'll see who is going to make it through and who was knocked out of the tournament. Up next we do have Nicoract and YoungYakov facing off in a TVZ. Oh boy. Again, YoungYakov, he has been a lot more in form. I think I might even favor him against Nicoract, but we'll see how our players will approach each other. Let's go, as game 1 is on Ancient Cistern. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have the red Terran player for the Platinum Heroes. It is Nicoract. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player, the blue Zerg player himself. It is YoungYakov. Go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our TVZ. Coming into this, I do expect this to be quite a close one. I will say that YoungYakov should pose a greater threat to Nicoract, and again, I might even favor him in this series. Nicoract is typically hyper-aggressive here, but if he fails to get damage done early on, then we lean more towards the Zerg player. So we'll see. We'll see if Nicoract can pop off. We'll keep an eye on the Hellions. We'll keep an eye on his build of choice. We'll keep an eye on Nicoract. Likewise, of course, we did actually feature YoungYakov. What was it, 2 weeks ago at this point, where he did take down Bjorn in Tuna Cup? True. Did eliminate Bjorn. It was a very impressive series, but it also did predicate a little bit on Bjorn being greedy, on YoungYakov popping off. We also saw YoungYakov actually thrive in the late game and did actually defeat Bjorn in a late game ZvT scenario with, of course, Mass Ultra. Yakov did get there. And coming into Ancient Cistern, we could be looking at something similar with YoungYakov looking to get into that longer and later game. We'll see. We shall see. For now, standard opener out of Nicoract, going ranks expand. Likewise, hatch gas pool out of YoungYakov. No one's going gasless. So we have our emotes being thrown out. As Nicoract is going to be moving out, making his way towards the natural to scout to get a read on what's going on. We can see that behind this, again, we're pulling out of gas. There's no fast gas income. There's no roach warren. There's no bust. Just poking in, confirming, testing the waters, just making sure that everything's as it should be. Calming down, Pappy, calming down. There's a third CC, so behind this standard economic follow-up, third CC before starport. Nicoract, we're settling in. From here, we could throw down a starport or a second Rax, but I feel like we would have seen a Rax by now. And just waiting for the gas. And there it is, second starport. Sorry, the starport, I should say. Not second Rax. So 3 CC, 1-1-1 out of Nicoract, most likely into Banshee play. You don't get much more standard than this. Now, we have seen Nicoract embrace mech in this matchup. True. He's actually very fond of going BC mech. But this isn't really the build that it leads into BCs, as typically we would be going into a faster starport, into a delayed CC. There's the add-on top. Hellions are amassing. Banshee production has begun. Everything's looking normal. For now, just threatening the mineral line. No major damage. Nothing major danger yet. We'll see if Nicoract does decide to go for the dive. Behind this, we have a bio follow-up, 3-1-1. Cloak Banshees are on the way. YoungYakov going double Evo Chamber first. That is double Evo Chamber before Lair and before the Baneling Nest, so a very greedy play here by Yakov. Prioritizing upgrades. This tells me that YoungYakov will have the upgrade lead, getting into a longer game. The downside is late Baneling speed, which means he's going to be vulnerable to an early push, something more committed, like Hellbats. But Nicoract's playing standard. So I do favor YoungYakov's position. Better upgrades. A little bit greedy here, but he will get away with the greed. Nicoract, he pulls back home. In doing so, he doesn't really have the opportunity to harass across the map. Banshees are poking in. Ideally, you want to be poking with the Banshees on one end and then the Hellions on the other. Set only the Banshees. They can get a Queen. True. Not bad. Queen goes down, but a miscontrol there by YoungYakov. Again, remember the lair is delayed. So Overseer is non-existent. Damage so far. Catching out 2 tumors. Ooh, dividing the expansion. Getting another Queen. High NG Queen as well. Not bad. Nicoract getting a lot of value out of these Banshees. Lair is now done. It's going to be Lingbane Hydra out of YoungYakov. Going for a more traditional composition. It's been a while. Again, over the past couple of weeks, all the Zerg players have been just rushing into Ultras and skipping any further tech. Anything like Spire or Hydrogen. So it is refreshing. As the setup that YoungYakov has is more indicative of Lurker tech. Some more of the Banshees. Snipes the Banshee. Nicoract once again, he's just 9 creep. And we'll see what he can get done. Once again, he's not all in. He's taking gases, getting a 4th TC. He is going for a 7-minute push. But for the most part, YoungYakov should be ready. Banelings are being denied. Okay, there's not that many Banelings. It's not that many. Only 9. Nicoract, he can bring down the expansion. Yakov trying to collapse in. Tank volleys from one of the Banelings. Yeah, nice tank shots. He spreads decently well. Marine's a little bit out of position. Tanks are going to be going down. And Yakov holds. Yeah, Yakov, he does barely hold on. Nicoract still rallying across the map. At the same time, Yakov going for a counterattack. It does hit the mineral line. 10 SCV is going to be going down at the same time, and Nicoract does take down the base. Gets the 4th, but oh no, he fights! He turns and fights with the SCVs. He will lose every worker. 22 SCVs go down. Oof, brutal damage. And that might just be too much. That is critical damage here. 22 kills. Sparrow does force the scan. Yakov, he's building up. Hive is on the way. Lurker Den is on the way. Yakov once again gets into the middle line. Oh, does burst some banelings. Hydras do get surrounded though. Okay. Hydras are shut down. Nicoract, he did not notice here that we do have an army bard in the middle line. And Yakov, he needs his lurkers. There's the Unburrow. Gets more SCVs. Nicoract, he does not turn around. It's going to be another 16 SCV kills. Yakov, he does not get on top of the tanks. Doesn't get them, goes to the runway instead. Getting on top of the army, getting on top of the tank. Yakov, he defends bottom right. And it's going to be 19 SCV kills. Ay, ay, ay. Nicoract's all in. It's all or nothing. This army has to end the game. It's a pretty large force. Stimming in. Dusting forward. Queens, they move command in, but it looks like there should be barely enough Link Hydra. Not the cleanest fight, but we'll shut this down. Here come the abductions. Here come the Vipers. Can we get the medevacs? Should be able to at least get one. Hydras are lunging in. Ooh, Yakov has to be careful not to overextend, pushing into a concave. Let's get the hell out of here. And pulls away. Viper's gathering more energy. And Yakov is just going to go for the kill move here with lurkers. Again, Nicoract, he's just lost too many SCVs throughout the course of the game. He lost how many? He's lost 44 workers. 44 SCV kills. Yakov gearing up more Ling Bane. He's maxed. Distracted by the drop. And he should shut this down. There's the lunge. Gets one, gets two. And does get both metamax. Both metamax go down. Yakov moving in. And now you just go for the kill. You can go for the throats. Massive powerbomb. Lurkers a burrow. And Nicoract, he cannot fight. The ZG gets called. YoungYakov takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, Nicoract, he had a really rough start here as he was gearing up into his own mid-game. We saw that so many workers, we pointed out 44 SCVs had gone down throughout the course of the game, losing mineral line after mineral line. The first run-by was brutal. I think the first run-by killed 22 workers. It was crazy. Just how much damage was being done, and with that, GG. GG, well played. Losses that Nicoract could not sustain, and Yakov did outscale. Yakov was also quite greedy in his play as well, opening up double Evo. Got away with it. But those are things you can get away with on these larger maps. Now we're loading into a smaller map. We're loading into Persephone. Let's go. Let's go. We're spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone. We have the Red Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Nicoract. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player, the blue Zerg player himself. Leading the series 1-0, it is YoungYakov. We go. Here we go, getting into game 2. Again, YoungYakov, he was able to get away with quite an amount of greed last time, but he shouldn't be able to here on Persephone. We should be seeing some more tame play out of YoungYakov. We might even see some, sorry, I say tame play, we might even see some more aggressive play instead with faster roach horns and more aggression early on. That's what I'm leaning towards here from Yakov. So we have our GLHF. Minute 30 in. Let's go. So we're calming down. So from here we are going to be poking in. Standard opener, we're pulling out of gas, so just standard opener here out of the YoungYakov, hatch gas pull into a third. Likewise, Nicoract, same, going racks, expand into his own factory. Oh, does delay the third base, not bad. Drone goes down, nice control here with the Reaper. He'll chase down the Lings, he'll save his SCV. Just barely. He does pop off. So far, nice early game. Behind this, going for his own third base. Still standard follow-up here out of Nicoract. Oh, hello. Never mind. Does go for the third CC into what? Into a factory. We did mention at the start of the series how Nicoract, he is one to play mech. But if you remember, I had assumed that if he were to play mech, he'd go into BCs first, like BC into mech. But no, this time we're going straight into a second factory. Okay. We're going straight into Hellion, then into Battle Mech. Nicoract, he's popping off. So far, Yakov going for a Ling run by. The Hellions are dragged out of position. Lings, they move in. Nice control here by YoungYakov. Nicoract getting caught out. No major losses here, losing 3 SCVs. But I might be speaking too soon. This is a lot of lost mine time. A lot of mine time is lost. Going for another worker. It's 7 in total. Oof. 7 SCV kills. Hellion kind of building up. We do have Blue Flame on the way. Third factory as well. Checking the vision here. YoungYakov, what has he seen? He hasn't confirmed. Did notice the high Hellion count. Roach Horns on the way. Marines are trying to keep up. He has to be so careful with these Hellions. Cannot throw them away. As he's building up his army. Ooh, meanwhile, YoungYakov, he does slip by. He gets spotted. Thankfully, Nicoract does spot this. Cleans up the Lings. It does clean up. We have how many in total? It's going to be 15 Hellions. You see? No armory, so no Hellbats. Blue Flame is done. Does not get into the natural. Nice wall. Yakov does wall in time. So far, Nicoract, he does no critical damage yet. Still looking for another way in. Now, my concern here is that so far these Hellions, again, they haven't really done much damage. Yakov waiting for roach speed, and then he should be pushing. Should be moving out. Again, this is a big investment into Blue Flame Hellions. Otherwise, typically, we would have gotten into faster Magfill and faster Cyclone production. But Cyclones have been delayed for this. And so far, it's not been worth it. He's holding, is up to 3 base saturation. Does overrate some with these roaches though. It's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4 dead roaches. And Yakovi just counterattacks. And he's just sending it across the map. Bold move. Back at home. Oh, the wall is up. Will delay. Base goes down. That was a cancel, not a kill. The reinforcements. Nicoract not paying attention. Gets caught out. Losing 1, losing almost 2 Cyclones. There we go. Losing 3. 1 Cyclone left. Down to 0. 0 Cyclones remaining. Roaches are busting across the map. Boys are being pulled, and Nicoract is falling apart. He's falling apart, Babby. Again, the investment into mass Hellion, it just wasn't worth it. Just wasn't worth it. He delayed his own Cyclones. And that's why the Cyclone count is so low. It's just so low. There's 3 Cyclones left. Roaches are rallying in. Gets another Cyclone and another. Down to 1. GG gets called, and YoungYakov, he snowballs out of control. He will take the series 2-0. He will advance on into the next round. GG. GG, well played. An interesting build here out of Nicoract to go into Mass Hellion and to go into Blue Flame. Not something that we're used to seeing, is what I will say, but alas, unfortunately, it just wasn't worth it. We saw that YoungYakov, he was able to get a full wall back at home, able to get into his roaches as well, and the Hellions, they never got into a mineral line. But on the flip side, we saw Lings they did get into the mineral lines. SCVs were going down early on, so we saw that YoungYakov was able to deal some crippling early game damage, and we saw that unfortunately Nicoract was not able to do any counter damage. GG well played. With that, again, he was stuck with mainly Hellion. He was trying to get into Cyclones, but he didn't get there in time. Did not get there in time. GG well played. With that, we do see that Nicoract is out of the tournament, and we have 1 series left here tonight. 1 series left in the broadcast. It's going to be a PvP between Shameless and Art. Oh boy. Not to be confused with the other Art, who's also in the tournament. Who's in the upper bracket, actually.